right now on NWTV 7 News. Family Day 2025 at Northwestern was another huge success. Who walked away with free tuition dollars?
Also, theater students are preparing their first production of the fall semester. We visited with a senior who's directing the production.
Plus, road construction causing a headache for some Northwestern students, when the project is expected to be completed.
This and much more coming up. 7 News starts right now.
From the NWTV studios on the campus of Northwestern Oklahoma State University, this is 7 News.
Hello, and thank you for choosing NWTV 7 News today. I'm Megan Spray.
And I'm Jaxie Cloud. Here's a look at this week's top stories. Family Day at Northwestern was a success again this year. During halftime of Saturday's game, the winners of Shop for Tuition were announced. The 3 students winning Northwestern Foundation tuition scholarships include Levi Lacrone, a sophomore history major from Enid. He won the $200 tuition prize. Madison Hayes, a freshman psychology major from Sealing, was the winner of a $300 tuition prize. And Aiden Slater, a freshman elementary education major from Laverne, received the $500 tuition award. Also recognized were Deborah, Letitia, and Rhea Goodfellow for traveling the farthest. They came nearly 1,900 miles from Arlington, Washington to visit their rangers, Jalen and Amari Goodfellow.
The Miss Northwest Passage pageant took place this last weekend in Woodward. I had a chance to talk to Miss Oklahoma, Tessa Durrell, about her experience with the pageant.
It's really fun because last year this was my first pageant to come to after being crowned Miss Broken Arrow, which was my local title. So getting to now come back as Miss Oklahoma was something I watched last year. I watched Lauren Frost be Miss Oklahoma at Northwest Passage. So getting to come back and do my talent and then get to be here all day with these girls was something I always wanted to do. And now I get to do it, so it's pretty cool.
Northwestern graduate and Miss Northwestern 2023, Emily Smith, was also there. She was Miss Northwest Passage 2025 and gave up her title. A new Miss Northwest Passage teen and Miss Northwest Passage was crowned. Taylor Sullivan won the teen title.
Our 2026 Miss Northwest Passage and winner of a $1,000 cash scholarship is Kaya Carpenter.
Following the pageant, the newly crowned Miss Northwest Passage, Kaya Carpenter, shared with me what she hopes to accomplish during her year of service.
It was really just like a moment of like, thank you God, because one thing I've been like, my whole theme throughout this year has been what's God will be done. And so I had literally came into this like, you know, what happens today is God's will. This was his plan, and I'm gonna have a great year with a great group of people. I'm really excited to get involved in the communities around Northwest Passage. A lot of people don't realize that the 270 highway is what the Northwest Passage is, and that includes the towns of Woodward, Shattuck, Sealing, Fairview, Leedy, all these towns, which is where I grew up, and I'm excited to give back to the communities that gave to me so much.
Miss Oklahoma Tessa Durrell will be on Northwestern's Alva campus during this year's homecoming. She will MC the Miss Cinderella pageant on October 24th in the Fellers Family Auditorium.
Northwestern Student Government Association is looking for candidates to vie for the title of Ranger Royalty. During homecoming, a new Ranger Queen and King, as well as a Freshman Queen, will be announced. In order to run, you must register by Wednesday, October 1st. Applications can be found online and must be dropped off at Ryerson Hall, room 127 or 131. The winners will be crowned at the 2025 homecoming football game.
Opening night for Northwestern's theater students is happening this week for their latest production titled Asylum. We visited with the student director, Gabriel Bussinger, about why he chose this production for his senior capstone.
Each director has a different way that they want, or different mark they want to leave. And for me, it was, I wanted them to be understanding of mental health, and I wanted them to understand the progress that we've made towards treating mental health and how that we could proceed to make it better.
Asylum is a one-act play that explores the fine line between sanity and madness. The production is set in a mental institution where patients reveal their own struggles, traumas, and perceptions of reality. The production will be presented this Wednesday and Thursday at 7 in the Fellers Family Auditorium. Also, additions for the annual Theater for Young Audiences production are coming up quickly. Those will be held on October 7th and 8th. They're looking for 65 actors, so consider trying out.
Road construction is causing issues for some who travel to Northwestern's Alva campus each day. The highway that runs on the east side of campus is being replaced. Work started about 2 weeks ago with both right lanes being demolished. This has impacted some parking and creates a safety issue. Student Services have asked for students to be extra cautious when crossing the road in this area. According to the Oklahoma Department of Transportation's website, work is scheduled to be completed in the summer of 2026.
Northwestern Esports hosted a Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Tournament on Monday. Schools that are part of the Oklahoma Scholastic Esports organization battled it out in one-on-one matches to determine the ultimate winner. 11 schools signed up for the event with over 80 players fighting for first place. For middle school, a student from Tologa won first. In the high school category, a student from Guyman took home first place.
September is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month, and I had the chance to speak with Northwestern student and childhood cancer survivor Madeline McReynolds about her story.
So I was 8 when I got diagnosed with ALL, so that's acute lymphoblastic leukemia. It's really common if you're in kids, like that's the most common cancer in kids is leukemia, and so this one, I went to Children's, OU Children's, and they diagnose people like with this 3 times a day, so they knew like exactly what they were doing, and like that was in and out of hospitals, that was clinic every week, it was kind of like when you go through treatment, you kind of have like these stages almost. Like the first stage, you're in the hospital every week because you can't leave until your counts are above a certain thing, and that's kind of like a whole different thing. And then like the next stage is just oral every single day for 7 months or whatever. So you kind of go through that, and then the third to the last stage is the hardest stage. So lymphoma or leukemia is in, like, it's a blood cancer, but it's also in your bone marrow. So you get these spinal taps every week to make sure that you don't need a bone marrow biopsy, you don't need a bone marrow transplant, which can be really extensive for little kids. Like whenever I got diagnosed, it wasn't just the school that was helping, like it was the community. They were helping my mom and my dad get groceries or do laundry or pick up my siblings from school, because they needed support too, because like they almost, like, I don't know if they ever felt this way, but like I would have felt envious. Like my older sister is taking my parents away from me, and I'm not be able to see them, and like, so just having people to help them, like that was a big thing. Like they didn't understand. Like they just kind of realized that my sister is away, so is my parents. Just having kind of a support system is the best thing that you can do for them. Like you don't have to give money to them, like stuff like that. Material things is like, it's helpful, of course, but that's not it's the emotional support, like just listening to what they need and what they if they want to bring it to you, like that is super important.
The fall season has officially arrived. Cooler temperatures are headed our way, and leaves will be falling from the trees soon.
We wanted to know what your favorite parts of the fall season are.
My favorite things about fall are when the leaves change and the weather gets a little bit colder.
I think my favorite thing about fall is Thanksgiving and Halloween. I'm a big holiday guy.
My favorite thing about fall is the weather transitioning from the hotter side to the cooler side.
My favorite thing about fall is all the fall activities like carving pumpkins, going to the pumpkin patch. Yeah.
My favorite thing about fall is the decorations for fall and Halloween, and I love the weather, and I also love the food.
That's a look at this week's top headlines.
For more, be sure and follow us on Instagram and Facebook. We'll see you next time.